So, this week brings a new weapon for us to unlock through the Tides of War. Last week we had the Rat Burner helmet skin, and before that we had the VGO MMG for the support class. And now we are getting yet another primary weapon, which some of you will remember from Battlefield 1, and that is the Selbsladder 1906. And here is the fastest way that you can unlock this brand new primary weapon. Over the last couple of days here, DICE has been killing it with keeping us busy with loads of new content. So far we've had the Rat Burner helmet skin from the Tides of War, then we got not one, but two brand new weapons, both the 1918 Ribby Rolls and the M1897 shotgun, both fan favorites from Battlefield 1, and now we have the Selbsladder 1906, which is a beastly weapon once used correctly. So firstly, how do we unlock this weapon? Well, it is actually quite straightforward, but I do have some very good tips here to speed up the unlock process by quite a considerable amount. To unlock this weapon, there are 3 unlock routes that you can take, and if you want you can do all 3 at the same time, which does get you much more points, but then again it will take you far longer to complete. The fastest route that I suggest you take is the middle one, which requires you to do the following. Deal 200 damage to vehicles, deal 500 damage in an airplane, capture 1 objective while in a vehicle, kill an enemy from at least 50 meters away while in a vehicle, call in 1 squad reinforcement vehicle, and then lastly here, destroy 1 tank. So for the most part, you're going to be playing the assault class and in some vehicles, as most of these requirements are either damage vehicles or do something in a vehicle. So firstly here, we have to deal 200 damage points to an enemy vehicle. Now by far the easiest and the fastest way to do this is by using landmines. Place them on either busy objectives or just outside of the enemy spawn. Some good maps for this are both Arras and Rotterdam, as both of these maps do have some very vehicle oriented choke points where you will certainly get those 200 points in just under a couple of minutes. Another good way to obtain your 200 points, if you simply just don't have the patience for landmines, is to run up to enemy tanks with dynamites, stick it on there, and then blow it up. But most of the time, tanks tend to stay around a lot of friendlies, so most of the time that you try this, you'll get shot up before even reaching the tank, so that's why I certainly would recommend going with the AT mines instead. Next thing we must do here is deal 500 damage points in an airplane, and the fastest and the easiest way to do this is to hop in a bomber plane and drop bombs as soon as possible from the very beginning of the round on the flags closest to the enemy spawn, as a lot of people really crowd up there at the start of the round on that first flag. So if you do this and get a good couple kills, or even take out an enemy vehicle full of people, you'll get your 500 points pretty much instantly. The next one here is very simple, just capture a flag while in a vehicle, that really doesn't need any explaining. Then kill an enemy while in a vehicle from at least 50 meters away. Now, there is 2 ways in how you can do this. You can either get in the passenger seat of a jeep and take people out with a sniper rifle, a good map for this is Hamada, or you can just play with a tank and take shots from afar. Personally, I found getting kills while in the jeep to be much easier, as while you're in a tank you're instantly a pretty big target for other tanks, planes, and assault class. Then for the next one here, we have to call in 1 vehicle as a squad reinforcement. So that's pretty easy, just become the leader of a squad by creating your own squad or constantly requesting orders over and over again, and once you have the sufficient points to do so, call in 1 of the vehicles. Very, very easy indeed. And then lastly here, to get your hands on the 1906 Selbsladder, you must destroy 1 tank. And again, this can be done in many ways. You can go with the anti-tank mines, like I mentioned earlier on in the video. You can go into a tank and get in a tank battle. That's another great way of doing things. Or you can simply play as an assault and blow it up with the Panzerfaust or dynamite, which is probably the easiest way of doing things. So overall, it's really not that hard of an unlock to complete whatsoever. You can get it done in maybe 2 or 3 rounds once you're playing the right maps and staying focused on unlocking this gun. Make sure you let me know if you think this gun is worth the effort, or do you think it's just another boring copy and paste weapon. Make sure you let me know your thoughts down below. And if you want to see more content just like this, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe icon to stay up to date with all of the most recent Battlefield 5 news and updates. Anyways guys, hope you're having an awesome Christmas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next Battlefield video.